Also, we weren't live.
We're going live again just to see if it works.
Yeah, legit don't
It's Daniel
see
Bohr. Get it right.
Daniel Bohr, the ISIS tractor.
All right. It
The
says
live
that.
action role player.
Yeah, it says we're live. At least it does when I'm looking at it from my channel.
I legit do not see it yet.
I'm trying to open. I'm trying to. Yeah, it says that the stream health is green. Nobody's watching though.
So we're streaming. Oh man! So everything that we just said got heard by everybody.
Only for like
Are you serious?
only the last 45 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, so
Well,
you didn't hear what Enzo said?
Everybody knew that I was a practicing counter economist anyway, so I'm fine with that.
Well, nobody heard that part.
Okay, well then they don't know what I said.
All we know is that you pay people under the table in cash.
You do grateful things.
Yeah. Although for some reasons,
I provide valuable services to the freedom movements.
Pretty much. Now the question is, why isn't this showing up on the? Did something change? Because this is very weird.
Is it on heretical live streams?
It shouldn't be. It should be on my main channel.
The fuck?
Look up heretical live streams just to be sure, but there's no reason it should be.
Here, let me look.
No.
I'm gonna have to look through my thing, aren't I?
I'm confused at what's going on now. I'm just like...
Live stream is being dumb.
It's being about as functional as a condom with a hole in it. Gotcha.
Pretty much. Actually, that's exactly what it is.
It's as functional as communism.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Gulags.
Those honky ass
and video output low. The stream is now in the
what's wrong,
red.
Robin?
And I don't know why.
You needed me to stream for you.
Robin is upset. No.
Why is he upset?
I don't know why. He just said fuck me.
He's drunk.
He said fuck me because the goddamn stream's down.
No.
Well, I don't know. I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's something on YouTube's end. Unless it's
it
like
has to be something with the CIA. Poopy,
CIA niggers got filthy heretic.
Well, that's weird because I'm fine right now.
I mean, Enzo does have a point. I mean, like, they always seem to have connection problems like when you're just doing your stream.
Yeah, it's fucking every time we stream. There's always connections problems. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Very.
So,
yeah, I don't know.
It always has to do with either the streaming software or YouTube. It's never freaking one of our internets. It's always YouTube doing something or OBS is doing something. It's always it's always a connection problem with the streaming service.
It can't be OBS, but I mean, I use OBS all the time, like, and it works fine. So it has to be. I'm assuming it's YouTube.
I think it is YouTube. I don't know if I'm being personally throttled or what, but
net neutrality. We fucking need it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So since we're all here and nobody's gonna watch us anyway, so we can basically just say whatever the hell you want. You don't have to worry about the stream getting shut down. So, well, I mean, it's still recording because I'm
ass young teenage motherfuckers.
Okay. You're recording it. Well, then just upload it on the live stream channel.
Yeah, it's exactly what I did with the previous one, actually.
I should draw Mr. Dapperton fisting a femboy Esso and filthy heretic.
Yeah.
Do it.
I thought it was a muscle
Draw
boy.
Mr. Dapperton fisting Jim Jesus.
I thought it was,
No, you should be SO fisting Jim Jesus.
I think we're all in agreement though that Hofflu's porn of my avatar is unironically good.
Oh my god.
It's no different than what you can find through
E621.com.
not even E621, just Fur Affinity.
Hold on, guys. We're back.
Yeah.
I remember when my friend showed me that website. She was like, "Oh, hey, here's this website," and I looked on there, and I only been on there for a solid minute, and the first thing I looked up was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? That is literally the worst thing you could have possibly done.
On any I just mean on any website. Why would that be the first thing you look up? I think that's kind of bullshit. I think just why would somebody present that? Here's this website. No, I think they said, oh, here's a furry porn site, and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm a goddamn furry, so I'll look up this one game series that I've known about since I was a kid.
You knew exactly what you were doing, Acer. Don't deny it.
Yeah, but like I was like, I wonder what is on this website. I look up Sonic, and I'm like, for like a minute later, I immediately get off and never see that website again.
Why would you look up Sonic the Hedgehog?
What else am I supposed to look up?
Did you think it was a ROM site? Like, were you trying to download Sonic Adventure 2 or something?
Who named the website e621.com? What the hell am I supposed to make of that? Like, is that like the name of like a color on like Photoshop?
No, it's the name of sodium glutamate. Or something like that.
I guess. But I mean, like,
I have no idea what that is.
Why would you look up Sonic the Hedgehog unless either one, you're looking for a ROM, or two, you're looking for porn?
I was young.
I mean, no one's gonna judge you here either way.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what was running.
It'd be hypocritical.
Extremely.
I just knew it was furry, and the first thing I was like, you know what, let's just put Sonic, because that's the easiest furry thing I'd probably look up, and it's just like, okay. This is
If you're on a furry website, the first thing you do is not look up Sonic the Hedgehog, because you know exactly what's going to happen.
Then again, I've been on DeviantArt, so like, why didn't I expect anything else?
Why?
I mean, I have a DeviantArt account.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I only have it just because, like, the friend I draw for, like, I just.
So you do realize
that
everything you're saying right now is going to be uploaded, right?
Oh yeah, like I don't care. Honestly, I have a channel of 35 subs. It's like, what is this going to matter anyway? It's
right,
like,
man.
You can't
Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, I've said goofy ass shit like on my live streams before.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't care, but I know that some people would.
Well, what's going to happen is that you're going to get to 10,000 subs. They're just going to dig this one thing up, and it's like, oh hey, here's a time when Azer said nigger.
I just say I look up adolescent.
You don't even have to say it.
Think of like what's a good way to like say something like how we have the nickname for that one dude, Daniel Bog. Like, what would be the nickname for
Daniel
for,
Bohr.
the thing that people. Yeah, the thing that people accuse ESO of soliciting. Like, someone think of a nickname for that.
Dude, I don't even
Catlin.
joke about that. It's not that like I'm insensitive to it or whatever because it has to do with me. It's not like that I'm triggered. It's that's like actually something you probably shouldn't like joke around about.
Like ESO does. Filthy or you do have a good point. Like I want to reach 10,000 subs and people are going to be like, yeah, this dude said some pretty questionable shit. What am I doing right now? I'm playing this game. I'm like, I forgot what I was doing because we were talking about this, and then I'm just like wandering around like a fucking retard.
Well, what we're supposed to be doing is, well, let's go ahead and talk about the topics. So first we have.
We were just sitting here, man.
Pretty much. How do I screen share on Google Hangouts? You guys need to see the video.
I'll tab over here in a moment.
Let me try to figure this out. Share screen. You guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah. Oh
okay,
boy, that's like really
Oh,
that's somewhat choppy.
there we go.
okay, so check this out.
When we see a building
Oh,
that
that's that
none of the
fight
lights
from
are on,
90%.
Can you hear that?
all right, and I see a bunch
No.
of people hanging out, I don't know what the deal is. All right.
Yeah, I don't
Let Marion do me a favor. Just have
You guys can't hear that?
No.
No.
Okay, so I don't know how to.
Okay, I'm back.
I don't know how to give you guys audio.
I assume this is the
So that's,
You know,
that's the reason
the
for the stop.
video of
These
the
guys
cop
see a bunch of
saying
people
it.
hanging out here,
Yep.
no lights. They want to talk to you. Want to figure out.
So
hey,
I'll try to
what's
explain
there?
it.
What's the deal? Are you guys?
So this cop sees a bunch of teenagers, young adults, hanging out outside of a house with no lights on. He thinks it's suspicious, and so he
You guys
starts giving them
breaking
this
into the
pep
place?
talk.
You just hanging out having a few drinks. Really no
Is that
big
a
deal.
young dude?
Is there any
Like,
other
I
illegal
can't
activity
see,
going on
like,
that,
it's
that we
really
should be
dark.
made aware? At this
He's
point,
asking if
you're all
there
being
are
stopped and
any
suspected
other
of
illegal activity
trespassing.
that
We're
he
gonna
should
get
be made
everybody's
aware of.
information. We're gonna go through and make sure nobody's got drugs or guns on them.
He's going to search them, make sure that they have no
Put
guns.
everybody's name. If anybody wants to
He wants their
fight or
names.
run, I'm a little trigger
Officer
happy.
Nasty is gonna give him a nice pat down.
Oh,
And
jeez.
now he's warning them that if anybody wants to fight or run,
Hey guys,
I'm a little
not gonna
trigger
lie,
happy,
I do not
guys.
get paid a ton of money in
Oh my
overtime
God.
to shoot somebody.
Yeah, he's saying it. You guys can't hear it. The guys who are going to be watching this stream are going to be able to hear it, but yeah, this guy's just being a total piece of work here.
We
Yeah,
get
so you're
complaints
just
all the
recording
time
this,
about
that's
If
people
you're-
hanging out. When we
If
see
you
a
guys
building
try
that
to
none of the
fight
lights
or
are on,
run, as
all
in,
right?
not do anything
And I see a bunch of
aggressive but
people
run
hanging out,
away,
I don't know what the
I'm
deal is.
trigger happy.
All right? Let
All
Marion do
that's
me a
gonna
favor.
happen
Just
is I'm
have
gonna get overtime. So that's the incredible thing,
the
is
reason
that's
for
what
the
he
stop.
says.
These guys
I
see a bunch
don't
of people
mind.
hanging out here,
I'm
no
just
lights.
gonna get
They wanna talk to you, wanna
overtime,
figure out, hey,
filling
who
out
lives here?
paperwork
What's the
if I
deal?
kill you.
You guys
That's
breaking
pretty
in?
damning,
Amazing.
because
Hanging out having a
I
few
mean, that
drinks?
not only means
Really no
that,
big deal.
they not only get a paid vacation if they kill somebody, but they actually are incentivized directly to do so by profit as well, because they get overtime pay if they kill somebody.
That's like a Middle Eastern man saying, "Hey, hold on."
Allahu Akbar.
It really shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody because,
No.
yeah, these people are absolutely psychotic, and like I have to wonder how many people either this guy's being a bragger to just trying to intimidate these kids, which is something I would totally expect this kind of a person to do, or he's shot several people several times and finds that doing paperwork is okay considering the amount of money, literally double his regular salary, he gets. So for those of you who don't know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
well, you don't get punished, and you make double the money you would normally make if you kill somebody. That doesn't, that doesn't sound like a
Jesus
situation
Christ.
where somebody's going to be disincentivized from killing somebody. That's like,
Mhm.
sounds like we're describing buck hunting for like a carpet making
Yeah.
company.
oh yeah.
Hang on, hold on. On the bottom right corners, what is that faggotry right
Any
there?
other illegal
Bottom right
activity
corner.
going on
Right
that
here?
we should be made aware of?
Yeah, no, watch.
At this point,
Cops
you're all being stopped and
shoots
suspected of
innocent
trespassing.
autistic teen
We're gonna
from
get everybody's
vehicle
information. We're gonna go
in
through and make sure
a drive.
Drive-by shooting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, right here.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know anything about that, but we'll click over on that after this is done. But just a quick thing. This story does have a happy ending in the sense that this cop actually got fired.
Well, yeah,
Thank you,
It's
Jesus.
because he
Because
kept
he told
talking
the
about
truth.
it. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
'cause he
much.
told
no,
the
it's
truth.
because he publicly disclosed exactly why police are incentivized to kill people.
Yeah.
Exactly
Who
what
built the
the
fucking
problem
beat?
is.
He couldn't
Yeah,
keep his
I mean,
mouth
if
shut.
I were the police chief, I suppose, if I was a callous and psychotic motherfucker, I'd be like, hey, yeah, you can't be going to the public and saying this stuff. You're cutting into our livelihoods here. Yeah, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
They don't even have the incentive to keep their mouths shut, dude.
No. Which I think is actually very good because
Oh yeah.
It allows for these this point of honesty, but this isn't actually anything I ever considered before. That there is an incentive that the police have to shoot suspects, since it forces them to work longer hours, and longer hours means more pay.
Well, obviously they do have an incentive. That's why so many of them do it. I mean, it's not just that there's, no risk to them if they do it. It's that, obviously, because if there was no risk associated with anything they did as a cop, that wouldn't necessarily mean, that wouldn't contribute necessarily to a high amounts of shooting. That would just mean, I suppose that they would be doing less things. I mean, yeah, they don't do much. Police are pretty inefficient. That's what we know for sure. But even with what we previously knew, the high amounts of shootings and the trigger happy nature of the cops, that was an anomaly. It wasn't necessarily explained, but now we do have a proper explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Revin pointed this out, this article. I actually wasn't even thinking about this, and I'm not really paying attention to it. But here's a surveillance video, and a warning to viewers who are going to be watching the posting of this video. This might be disturbing. I haven't seen this video yet, so I don't know. But if my glancing at this video is any indication, keep an eye on that kid. You can see slightly to the left of the center, so right around here. I think it's where you want to pay attention.
That kid looks pretty autistic.
Nice knowing you.
You could hear the. I don't know if you guys couldn't hear it, but there's gunshots. You could hear it very clearly.
It just sucks because it's one of those 1 frame per second security cameras, so it's kind of hard to make out what happened exactly.
Well, let's see. We have this car that pulls up. The kid stops, and I'm playing it right now. I'm gonna pause it.
Yeah, you could see him running away and then falling to the ground, but yeah,
Poor kid.
He's wandering towards it. I don't know, for reasons that are not clear.
What would you do if you're an autistic kid out in the middle of nowhere with the cop car coming right there?
I'd freak out.
Right.
Hold on a second. I accidentally muted the audio, so.
Or any other person, I mean. Sorry.
Well, they shot the autistic kid. Poor autistic.
All right, so I paused the video there. The 2 shots just got fired, so the kid's already been shot. Then he knows to run away. He stumbles, and it looks like he makes a break for it and goes out of camera. No, you can actually still see him running.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it. He's like a small dot all the way on the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
Hi, Dot.
Now, I mean, it's not clear if he actually got hit or not.
Well, I mean, he fell to the ground, so.
It looks like he stumbled, but I mean, it's not clear if he actually fell to the ground or not.
He falls to the ground right after these.
What's the article say?
1 sec. The article actually, you can see the video. He keeps running.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he doesn't fall to the ground.
I didn't see that, but I did see him fall to the ground.
He stumbled, but he recovered.
So he didn't die at least.
No, he's completely fine.
That's good.
Poor autistic kid.
So the cop that fired, whose name is Muhammad, by the way.
Oh, come on.
The guy pulled like he was about to pull a gun on me, walked up to the car, and I had to shoot. And he was in fear for his life.
Oh, the autistic.
I was in fear for my life in my cop car. I could have just kept driving, That's what the security camera shows. The dude could have just kept driving. There's no reason why he had to stop.
Yeah.
Kid
I mean,
was
you're-
just sort of standing there minding his own business.
In a presumably bulletproof vehicle, you're afraid for your life that the kid might beat you up. Yeah, you can see here that's like Muhammad filed out a report claiming that he was in fear of his life and thought the teen was either going to shoot him or beat him up. So he had no other choice but to open fire. So he was in his cop car, and he was worried about being beaten up.
Well, not only that, but if you actually look at the video, you can see that the car like sort of slowly is driving along and then comes to a stop. I mean, that was not driving at 20 miles an hour and then suddenly stops. I mean, the cop clearly saw this kid, stopped, and told the kid to come to the car. That's why he stops first, and then the kid comes up to the car.
And the kid, I don't think he's a teen. He's a 9-year-old. What the fuck?
A 9-year-old?
Is that what it said?
That's a tall ass 9-year-old then.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, let me.
I'm being dumb. I'm sorry.
It doesn't say what his
Either
age
way.
is. It says that he has the cognitive level of a child and difficulty communicating.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sorry, I'm being dumb.
I'm sorry.
it says that it doesn't give an age, but he says it's a teenager. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 14. Again, I
Oh,
don't
for
know.
a 14-year-old still.
Yeah, I mean, like, what? How pathetic! How absolutely wimpy are your cops that they fear for their life because of 14-year-old autists?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not calling you. Like, even if they were obligated to protect me, I would not call them.
He's not.
I'd rather
Not
in
wimpy enough.
Mafia.
He wasn't fearing for his life. He just wanted some of that overtime pay. We're getting closer to the end of the year now.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, Christmas is coming up. Some of these fucking psychopaths got kids they got to get their expensive gifts for.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
Okay,
not.
so-
Yeah.
We're still talking about that same dude, right?
I think
His
so.
name is Muhammad. That's all we need to know.
Double
Is-
whammy right there, dude.
Pretty much. That's how I believe you called it best, the Sand Monkey Tribe. We are better off without him, and quite frankly, we should not be involved in that. Islam
Better
was
off without him. I wouldn't go that far. Like, you're probably actually going to get your stream taken down if you say that.
probably.
They've been around longer than Pat Robertson, much like him, it needs to go away.
Hello.
It doesn't really fucking matter because YouTube they seem really hell bent to not let this stream go live anyway. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the opinion that's like the more I look into Islam, the more horrible it is.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
my
like the
father,
state.
he actually, since he was like an Air Force pilot, like he's actually been to Turkey, and he's said like he's actually like seen people actually like shit.
who's doing that?
Not I.
Nay, not I.
It's like a tapping sound in
Brevin?
somebody's background. Somebody's.
It's not.
I
me.
don't. What? No.
Is there something tapping?
Tap, tap, tap,
It's
tap, tap.
filthy, Mike. There's something.
Yeah, that's filthy.
We can hear something going on in the background. It's really fucking losing me to cut. It's causing me to lose my train of thought.
I don't know what that is. Maybe my mic actually.
Yeah, tap, tap.
Okay.
Yeah, like my father was actually seeing
He's the
people
faggotry.
shit and piss in the streets of Turkey.
All right. So should we move on to the next topic?
Sure.
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 All right. So this
Yeah.
is something you guys probably saw before since someone else talked about it, and that's someone else. Like, who was it? Liberty Podcast or something. Anyways, yeah. So what happened is in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Well, yeah. Liberty Weekly talked about this. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's who it was, right? So Liberty Weekly talked about this, and you can see this little clip going on right here, where SWAT team raids a guy's house. Guy's sleeping on his couch, and his door literally flies at him.
Jeez.
You can see it right here, like
I'm
he's
all
on the
tapping, so
couch, and his door just boom.
I don't see it.
LOL. Flying doors. This is
Lol,
Looney Tunes.
flying doors.
It's floating along
LMAO.
like a Modest Mouse song.
Yeah. Oh,
It's Looney Tunes now, you boys.
this is actually worse when you realize that when you look at the actual surveillance footage and you realize that guy has a dog.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know what happens here.
Oh.
They
God
shot
damn
the
it.
dog.
Alright, hurt the dog. Sorry, yeah, okay.
Shot the doggo.
No, don't hurt the
No,
doggo.
they stole him and then put him in an oven and ate him. Oh yeah, of course.
Actually, there's no indication that they actually shot the dog. So it looks like these 11 SWAT officers didn't get the memo.
Guys,
Well,
gotta
at least the dog didn't get
dogs,
hurt.
man. We're overtime. Come on.
So
The
yeah,
dog.
to raid one guy's apartment, they sent 11 people in military gear with assault rifles to explode a guy's door, basically trash his apartment.
And then charge him for assault because of his dog.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that.
Oh, I love his statement here. I threw my hands up as far up over my head as I could. I didn't want them to say I was reaching for something and shoot me. I didn't want them to shoot my dog. I just wanted to survive.
So he's a viewer of ours. Probably not, but he's on like the same train of thought.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what does this say about the state of law enforcement that an encounter with them is a question of life or death?
Look. We forgot to shoot the dog.
They did forget to shoot the dog.
At least the dog's okay then.
Yeah.
Poor doggo.
All indication is that the dog is completely fine.
Yay.
Like they just like show footage of like the police leaving, and then like one of the officers just runs back in, shoots the dog, and then runs back out.
That would not surprise me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
So
they're just out of my mouth.
So their justification for this SWAT raid is that they had an undercover cop buy $100 worth of cocaine from him.
So that would be a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, but here's the video of the undercover cop, and this surveillance camera's in front of his door.
Not really a lot of cocaine. It's a little less than an 8-ball.
So you guys can't see it, but I'll just describe what happened. So a guy in blue just walked by from the right side of the screen to the left, and then just as he's about to go out of frame, he turns back, pulls out his camera, and then just takes a picture, and then just walks away. He does not knock on the door. He does not interact with anyone else because there's no one else in the camera. He just walks by. So this $100 transaction does not take place. He just completely made it up.
Wow.
Yep.
Time to raid your house, motherfucker. You're innocent.
Yep. Now, apparently the SWAT team found a green leafy substance on the living room floor under the driver's seat of his car.
Oh no.
He left
no.
some basil in his car. Oh no.
Oh no! Or what more likely than
Fruit
happened than
salad.
not is that he got some. He was walking, and there were leaves that got caught on his shoe,
Yeah, exactly.
and it just so happened that oh no, this might be marijuana, even though marijuana has a very distinct
A
smell.
leafy substance. For all you know, they could be lying. I mean, this is a story that recently happened. It's the middle of October, so all the trees are dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's for all you know, they could just have seen autumn leaves on the floor of his car, and let's describe this in our report as a leafy substance. And
And then they say they found 3 digital scales.
What the hell's that?
I actually don't know what a digital scale is.
He weighs stuff. The horror.
He weighs
Yeah.
He weighs stuff.
The horror.
Yeah, here it is.
Well,
It's exactly what you think.
Dare he weigh something with a scale?
It's exactly what you think it is. I just Googled it right now, and it's just like a whole bunch of digital scales you can buy for like $10.
You probably have one in your bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
this,
those things.
No, I do.
Those things that you step on, which give you
Yeah.
your weight. That's a digital scale. I mean, if it's a digital one.
That's
Sometimes
very oddly
not.
specific.
Yeah. but here's the thing, though. Drug dealers can use them to weigh the amount of drugs that they have. So therefore, he should be charged with possessing an instrument of crime.
Oh my god.
But it's not an instrument of crime. God damn it! You can't fucking this is exactly why you can't punish people because they have a certain commodity. Because
Yeah, exactly.
commodities do not have one explicit purpose in which they will be utilized. And to argue that this guy was utilizing this scale to weigh drugs is basically to assume without evidence that he's a drug dealer. That doesn't prove anything that he has a scale, because scales can be used for multiple different things.
Functional fixedness is strong with these ones.
Oh, and want to hear something else that they found?
And the thing with scales, as I pointed out, is they are extremely common.
Yeah.
So here's the next thing that they found: plastic bags.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
sandwich
even
bags or
worse.
just like grocery plastic bags.
Literally everybody who's ever lived has probably used plastic bags. That's not evidence of
I
anything.
have plastic bags when I take my dog out on a walk.
Yeah. Well, he says he uses it to pack his lunch, which is something that literally millions of people do every freaking day.
Billions, probably.
Hundreds of
Yeah,
millions.
I use
It's
plastic
definitely
bags
like
to
the
start
use
art
of a plastic
projects.
bag.
And then finally, they found paperwork.
Oh,
my god.
They just wanted to arrest this guy. Those leaves in his car, those probably were just fucking leaves that fell out of trees. For some reason, the police had a vendetta against this guy, and based on, his reaction of assuming that he was gonna get shot, he didn't assume, like, he wasn't confused. The first thing he thought was, police, I'm gonna get shot. Yeah, this guy probably is like a pain in their ass or something. He's like a political activist or something in the area.
Probably.
What's next? Like this guy has a microwave?
Probably. But next thing you know, he
Yeah.
has, or it's going to be something along the lines of, well, he's a member of the Homo sapiens species. You know who else are
This
Homo
guy has-
sapiens? Drug dealers.
This guy has a television. You can use televisions to hide your drugs inside of.
He has a car.
You know who else has a car? You know who else had a car? Hitler.
He owns a house. Drug dealers own houses. Didn't you know?
Oh man, we must start charging everyone.
He,
But
he owns a toilet. Did you know that drug dealers can flush down evidence?
Oh my god.
oh my god, these people are fucking retarded.
Oh, it gets even worse. It gets even worse.
What,
If
they
that
found
can
out
be
he has a girlfriend and that he's a possible sex trafficker?
No, I mean the reason that we have this footage in the first place is because the guy had a surveillance camera in his house.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but once the SWAT team learned that he had a surveillance camera, they actually got excited and pulled up and managed to connect to their phones the surveillance footage so they could watch their own raid that they had just conducted a few minutes ago
Oh, I thought
while
you
the
were
guy
saying
is
about,
sitting in a chair
Psychopaths are
handcuffed.
these?
You can see him. Let me try to actually turn on screen share again so you guys can see.
I thought you were about to say that
Have
they're
to get
going to start
chained up
doing
like an animal.
Fortnite dances.
All right, so
Dude, what kind of psychopaths are these? Jesus Christ.
yeah, so
Close it out, notification out. And go to click on
the
doorbell.
audio isn't really important,
To the,
but
to the right, the camera to the right.
Yeah.
you can see like he's talking through them how to get it to work, and he's still handcuffed to a chair, mind you.
Oh, it might go video clip.
So they're making him connect it.
I don't know if they're making him,
Well, then why else would he be
but
doing it?
they're like
Yeah, we're excited to see us whoop your ass, boy.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
They're giggling.
Fucking horrible.
They're giggling about like breaking into this guy's house and drawing guns on him. It's just like, oh, this is so hilarious. This is so amazing. We're so cool and badass.
I love the smell of my own
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro.
Do you know who
Well,
else?
it's not like
They won't
more
laugh
people.
until we actually-
I actually wanted to know: do more people die in shootings because of cops than like anything else in this country? Probably.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise
Wait,
me
what
actually.
was it?
All those 3,000 deaths a year, they're all because of cops.
2,000 deaths a year? I thought it was. The number that I found was 1,000.
Raid your house. It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, the
Do you
most
know
I
who
heard is
else
actually
enjoyed terrorizing other people from while recording it. Those 3 Russian dudes who hammered that dude's face in. The 3 guys 1 hammer. The guys who did the 3 guys 1 hammer video.
Oh god.
778 people in 2018. This source doesn't specify if they were murders
exactly.
or not, but then again, we're dealing with a metric, you know, where the state essentially gets to decide arbitrarily whether or not it's justified. So you can't really take that study and take its word for it. It's probably more, actually.
Guys,
Are those like
fuck's
reported or like a combination of like reporting like victimization like studies or surveys? Because that's what I learned in criminology. Hey, there's a good thing I actually learned.
But yeah, we'll take that number 778 at face value. I mean yeah, that's 3,000 people are shot and killed. You know, are murdered with guns every year. 778 of them are with police. So yeah, that's I mean, assuming, yeah, we'll assume some of them are justified. So let's go ahead and take like 50 of them off, because I'm sure occasionally they'll run into somebody. But yeah, so take 50 of them off. That's 700 out of 3,000.
Well, here's a more important statistic that I think people should look at, and I don't know what those numbers would be, but it's like, suppose that of the 3,000 number, you subtract, let's round it down to 750, so 2,225 civilian murders with guns. Now, how many guns, or how many crimes are prevented by guns each year?
50,000. Around that mark.
Actually, well, surveys show it's around like 3 million.
Really?
It's from 5,000 to 3 million, so it's very
It-
large.
The number I'm using is murders that were presented by.
Yeah, we're talking about that. Like,
I heard.
So I think what we can get here or derive from that, and I want to use the crimes prevented rather than just murders, because it points out that you have a roughly 1 in 2,000 chance of any encounter between 2 people with a gun, one of which wishes to commit hostile intent on the other, or one of them has hostile intent on the other, resulting in a fatality or resulting in a murder.
Whereas with police, it's a little under a 1 in 3 chance of being murdered.
Yeah. So if someone comes up to you with a gun and you have a gun, you have you had better hope that that guy who's coming up to you with a gun isn't a cop, because that means you have a 1999 out of 2,000 chance of surviving that encounter.
jeez.
If you got one guy with gun and another guy with gun, you get 2 guns.
Pretty much.
So basically, that 3,000 could also be shaved down to civilians killing each other with a gun versus police officers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, like, someone's gonna fact check my math and find that I'm terribly off, but just
Yeah,
in
they get the
general,
idea.
And
it's
I'm just presenting the statistics of you know, people that are murdered compared to the amount that are murdered by police. So I'm sure that there's a problem with using that metric to compare how safe a police encounter is, but just the general idea is that it's very, very fucking dangerous.
Well, here's a better question. The civilians outnumber the police by what percentage?
Aren't there like 5,000 police employed?
In the
I don't know the actual number off the top of my head.
5,000 police employed?
It's something like that, though. It's like 5,000-6,000.
We can actually.
Well,
Let
I'm
me
pretty
look
sure
this up.
the number of police total is way more than that. Like, I actually do have a statistic from my criminology class. I just need to get my notebook. Not right now, but I can look that up like sometime during the stream. Like, I should have that number.
Okay, so it says that there are 17, almost 18,000 law enforcement agencies with 765,000 officers.
What the
Now
fuck did
that's
I get 5,000 then?
Yeah,
I
like,
don't
I'm just
know.
like, what the hell?
But this would include things like the FBI. For some reason, the Department of Education also has a SWAT team. For several. I'm not making that up, by the way.
If you're including,
Kids are getting in a fight. Gotta break 'em up.
if you're including the SWAT team, then yeah, I could see how it would be 17, 18,000 because those guys are on standby like everywhere.
Yeah. So, given that the let's see if I can get my calculator open. Okay, so 765, 315 million. So you have, for every, unless I'm reading this wrong, for every 1,000 Americans, there are 2 cops. So they are insanely outnumbered. But
Yeah, that's a lot.
cops who are 0.2% of the population represent what percentage of the gun murders?
I don't know.
I'm probably gonna fudge them.
Oh,
I'm probably
about 1/3.
let me see here. So I'm rounding it to 750 by 3,000. So let me see if I got this right.
Yes, that's about 1/3.
Actually, it's 1/4. It's a quarter.
Okay.
So
It's still quite a bit.
0.2% of the population represents
1/3 would be 1,000.
1/4 of murders.
Jeez.
So tell me something. Do you honestly think that you have a better chance surviving an encounter with the police?
No.
No, there were criminal organizations headed or controlled by psychopaths whose officers have a serious murder boner.
They're a territorial monopoly on violence.
No, they're here to attract us, you guys.
Oh, they're just here to protect us, aren't they?
Even though they killed so many people in the 20th century, and God knows
Yeah.
how many in the 21st century.
Let me just
Oh, yeah.
show that. Let me just look at that video one more time of them
Democide by
protecting.
government. Yeah, don't forget that democide, that's all conducted by police at some point.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now let me just pull up this video again of let me just pull up screen share of the police protecting and serving this man.
We are dominated. Hey, Griff.
Yeah, they protected and served the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end they said it's just a prank, bro.
And I just realized I didn't actually screen share. Which
No.
is fine.
It's just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro. Well, don't worry. I mean, they're totally here for us. They serve us, you see.
They like just bust into
Yeah,
his
so
home,
there's
like,
no such thing as statecraft.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, well, you can just
Move
vote
to
for someone.
Somalia.
You can just vote for someone different
Or
in
move to
3
They
years.
Somalia.
they serve the soy-filled vaginas in Congress, I guess.
You can move to Somalia.
silly.
Move to Somalia! I'm totally not serving a soy-filled vagina. Move to Somalia.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing. So this is just funny. Internet memes are making teenagers fat. Now,
Yeah, there's
Oh my
many
I'd
people
love to
that
hear
have
their corroborating evidence because it sounds just based on the premise that's being presented here. This sounds like a correlation causation fallacy.
Well, you can see. This article has a whole crap of ton of memes on it, so I'm just gonna scroll through them.
But I mean, let's be honest. This is just the mainstream media trying to scare people away from meme culture.
Oh
Pretty
my
much.
god. They are just
Exactly.
grasping at straws.
Remember
Finger on the
the
muscle.
mainstream media flipped out over the Pepe frog? Just remember that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh no, the horror of the memes, you guys. They're gonna make you obese.
There are
The
good
memes,
memes
Jack.
and there are bad memes.
I
They're gonna
thought,
fat you up all
I thought Pepe the Frog turns you into a white supremacist, so I guess it turns you into a white supremacist and makes you fat.
Well, I mean, but fat is beautiful. Why are you fat shaming? Why are you fat shaming them?
Yeah, why are you fat shaming this girl? Isn't she beautiful?
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty fat phobic. Why is it a problem? That,
Yeah.
Count me in, bro.
Oh my god.
Pretty fat phobic of you, whatever news is reporting this.
Zero Hedge. Well, Zero Hedge is aggregate. So who are
Zero
they
Hedge
sourcing
is
it
not
from?
the outlet, which is saying that memes turn people fat. Which is the outlet that like claimed that first.
Okay,
That's
so
pretty fat phobic of them.
So here's what Zero Hedge is quoting from someone else. It is worrying that internet meme content, which by definition has come to represent the internet-fueled propagation of ideas such as videos, jokes, rumors, and websites, produces a predominant sense of happiness regarding of the underlying tone or image used.
Oh no! God forbid people be happy.
If this is the
Yeah.
broader case, then we run the risk of normalizing and accepting ridiculing and stereotyping of non-normative, fat, unhealthy, irresponsible, at-fault individuals because of cultural ignorance.
You know, there was. This reminds me of like an article.
It
where
sounds
it was
like
this-
Voltaire. Is that you?
What the hell? This is just a
Oh my
word salad.
god!
This is just a word salad. I don't know what any of this means.
Voltaire, is that you?
Nom nom nom.
Basically, we're going to make people fat by normalizing fat people, you know, by acknowledging that they exist, and somehow by creating stereotypes and making fun of them, that's going to encourage people to become fat. Basically, the logic of whatever source they're quoting.
Oh, this.
Wow.
Sounds like something Voltaire would say, or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez would say, or something. I don't know.
Bro,
Stop fat shaming people.
I don't know. Tell me. I'm sure, based on how fucking autistic you guys are, I'm sure at least one of you is fat. So tell me, was becoming fat a choice? Like, is that something you just wanted to do because the culture made you feel like it was cool?
No, I'm not. Dude, I'm not fat.
I'm not fat.
I'm fortunately not
I'm not
fat.
fat.
Actually, I am fat.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I called it. At least one of you was.
You guys seen a picture of me? Like, that's what told me I look like that one dude in that like me with his like mouth wide open and his eyes like all whatever.
I'll take a picture of my Mr. Dapperton belly if you want. I don't know.
Okay. Oh. Look at this.
Oh hey, hey, you
Yeah,
think
meme.
that's ridiculous? I actually found like dude. Okay, you know I'm going to post this in the Discord, our little Discord thing. It is like fucking amazing.
What?
Doctor, fake doctor.
This is an actual article.
Ooh, just reached level 71 ranging on RuneScape.
Yay.
So, all right, so check this out. Analyzing the effects of internet memes on young teenagers' health and health behaviors. In the executive summary, it says, there is growing concern. I love that passive voice, by the way. That's how you know this was written by a woman. There is growing concern over the significant costs of unhealthy lifestyles to the NHS.
Oh yeah, the same people that fucking killed a child. Oh my god. Growing concern.
Growing concern.
Yeah, the people who deliberately starve old people to free up bed space. I'm sure they're real concerned with mental health. Fuck off.
Oh, yeah. This is
Here, guys.
pretty much what this is all this is doing is just I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, finish your thing first, and then I'll tell you.
I think I know what you're talking about. I just put it in the chat here.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, I can do
They
that.
also whatever. They also they had basically Alfie Evans and Charlie something. I don't remember the full name. Charlie something. Murdered.
No, you lost a sub. No.
Aw.
You lost a nigger? Oh, that's
I
sad.
like
Yeah,
that
what's
came
his
up
name
like
here,
so
the
quickly,
dragon.
so people are going to see what Revan said. Like in that fucking text chat right there.
I don't want them idolizing a fat virgin. Oh my god!
I just came across that.
I'm done. That's Illuminati confirmed. I'm done.
Well, Illuminati confirmed.
Wait a
I
minute.
guess.
Oh my god.
Parody article.
No,
Oh,
that's
dead.
an article. No, that's
Guys,
an
hold
article.
on. I'm pretty sure this is a parody website because look at the article on the side. The Logan Paul. It says, if any autistic kids are trying to go to prom with me, I'd be more than happy to do that shit.
Oh my god.
Is this the?
I'm
like,
pretty sure this is a parody website.
Yeah,
no,
it's so
like
funny.
then
though.
again, like I mean, people come up with really stupid shit, so I actually wouldn't be surprised
Poe's
if
Law.
it's real.
Poe's Law, man.
Winnie the Pooh, on the other hand, wouldn't know the first thing about courage. If he were on United Airlines Flight 93, for example, not only would he have not joined the revolt against the terrorists, but he probably
There's
would
no
have gotten
fucking
down.
way that this is a real
he
article.
probably would have
Parody.
gone down on his yellow knees and sucked the terrorists' cocks one by one. Oh, bother. He would shrug as the Al Qaeda operatives drilled the back of his throat with their.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a parody article.
Yeah.
It's still
Oh
really,
my
it's still
God.
very
The
funny.
fucking the premise itself is really absurd. So I mean, there are some actual unironic articles that have absurd premises nowadays that come out that test your suspense of disbelief. But no, it's
Yeah.
you started getting into what the article says. If Winnie the Pooh was on one of the 9/11 flights, that sounds it's like it's got that sense of irony to it. You can tell it's a parody.
Yeah, this is definitely a parody. I mean, just
Yeah, just read that article, Tyler. It's like that's Poe's Law right there.
this is we do exist in a time where yeah, I was just gonna say Poe's Law, where things that are parody more closely resembles reality.
Yeah.
So I actually would not be surprised if this was made unironically, but on the other hand, it looks exactly like a parody article.
Oh my god. It's fake news, report it.
It's absolutely hilarious nonetheless.
I know.
Goobers.
And let's speaking of something that's absolutely hilarious, let's go to our last article of the day.
Florida man.
Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking.
All right,
Florida man.
let me know when you're ready.
Florida man? All right, go ahead.
Florida man arrested.
Florida man.
Does whatever no one can.
Does as much stupid shit as he can.
Florida man arrested for planning teen sex meetup told cops he just wanted to see sexting in action. Sex sting, not sexting.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with some people?
That also
I
wasn't
don't
as
know,
funny
man.
as the idolizing the fat virgin.
Well, I don't.
Hey,
know.
Florida man.
I'm trying to just once again, Florida man. He is
Florida
a
man does
superhero.
it again.
He strikes again, yes.
He is a superhero.
Yep.
It's one that we don't deserve, though.
He's the superhero that we do deserve him.
Or
We deserve
ask
him.
for.
He's not the superhero Florida needs, but the superhero Florida deserves. He's unstoppable, all powerful, and completely insane. He just does what he wants, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop him. He gets arrested constantly, but he's out doing some random antics like within minutes.
I
It's not even worth it's not even worth the paperwork of booking him anymore.
know.
Florida Man is a collective consciousness.
Did you know every 10 minutes, Florida Man does something incredible?
Yeah. God bless Florida Man.
Eventually, Marvel or DC is gonna make a Florida Man comic book.
Oh my god.
Get
And
on
it's
I
it,
just
hope
guys.
so.
like all it is, just like a weekly issue, or possibly monthly, that gives context to the bizarre Florida Man headlines.
Yep.
And of course, the context does not help at all. It turns out that like what we actually got is the incredibly tame version of the story.
Yeah.
So that story about Florida Man driving 1,000 miles to cut off the dick of his friend who's sleeping with his ex,
Oh god.
it's actually a lot worse.
Oh,
When you add the context, it gets even fucking crazier.
Honestly, I find the Winnie the Pooh article more believable than that.
And of course, Florida Man. It's not going to be explicit. Like he's not going to be going around flying, shooting lasers out of his butt or anything like that. But he'll be implied to be just like insanely strong, like just the kind of guy that would bitch slap Silver Age Superman.
You guys probably are. I mean, they've got some sort of like mental disabilities, or they're high as fuck on some drugs, so they probably do like they have some tard strength going or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Florida Man, Florida Man.
Does as much stupid shit as he can.
Oh.
Can he swing from
Florida Man, Florida Man does whatever a Florida Man can.
We need to come up with
everywhere.
We need to come up with a mascot.
well, Florida Man is the mascot. We just need to come up with a theme song.
Yeah.
Mascot like an actual.
Remade Spider-Man theme song. Florida Man, Florida Man.
But we actually need to put some effort into changing
Hold on.
the lyrics.
Florida Man is not one man. It's Florida Men.
Well, we've already determined that Florida Man is a collective consciousness, empowered by the complete insanity of the entire population of Florida.
Florida of 1,000 men.
Pretty much, and he gains their power through their sheer stupidity and insanity.
There's no women who are acting as batshit crazy as this.
Where's Florida?
Oh,
Where's
there's
Florida woman?
Florida women. They're just not as common.
Oh.
Where's Florida gender neutral queers?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's a good point.
Florida
My
femboys.
culture is not your prom dress.
Well, what's
Oh my god.
So
What's
the Florida Man song, or just the Florida song in general, like have you seen that song about Cleveland, Ohio?
Oh yeah.
Like somebody,
Mhm.
yeah, it should be a parody of that song.
Mm.
That would be amazing. But what's going to end up happening is that someone in, say, Ohio is going to do something, and then Florida Man is going to come out with a protest against what that guy did, and he's going to say, "My culture is not your prom dress."
No, the Florida Man
Oh
theme isn't
my
exactly
God.
a theme. It's just like the Kool-Aid Man saying, "Oh yeah," but it's like its bass is tuned up to 11, and it's like really distorted because of it. Like that's just it.
I think I'm aware of this video game. I wouldn't really call it a video game. It just kind of exists, called Crazy Bus for the Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah, that one. Was thinking about that thing that DW likes on Arthur for a second. I'm like, you mean what
Well, I
DW
think
watches?
If Florida Man were to have a theme song, I think it would use Crazy
use
Bus's
that
theme
song,
song, which is
yes.
literally just randomly generated notes.
Oh
Hold
my
on,
Yeah.
god.
Wait, hold on
It's
a moment.
like-